I'm Daniel.
And welcome to Competitive Interrogation. Today we're joined by
Mr. Mullen.
How many years have you been teaching?
God, okay, so I think this is 19 or 18 overall, and then this is my 16th year here at Bonita. So I've been teaching at Bonita longer than most of you have been alive. I taught a little bit of everything here, but the main thing I'm known for is teaching AP US history and regular government. So I've been playing Mario Kart since the original came out, but I've never played Mario Kart 8, and I am not good when it comes to the Switch, so...
We'll start off
Okay.
soft. You don't have to think too much.
I don't think anyway, so sorry.
What are some of the hobbies you have outside of school?
Let's see. So I've been playing trumpet for 30 years now. Jeez, I'm old. So that's probably something I've been in multiple bands. I've actually played in multiple countries. I hike a lot. Last year they did a cribs of my classroom. You can see all the photos I have up. So
Yes.
My wife and I like to go touring national parks and waterfalls and stuff.
We'll build off that answer.
Okay, yeah.
You said you've been to national parks.
Yes.
Which one is your favorite? Because there's I mean, just looking at your classroom, there's many.
So it's like asking me what my favorite child is. I don't have kids. For me, when it comes to national parks, the answer is they're all pretty and unique in their own way. But like, if you're only ever going to visit one, Yellowstone is the most famous national park for a reason. It's got a little bit of everything. When it comes to prettiness, I would say that Glacier National Park. And then if you're okay with ever leaving the United States, then you could go to Banff National Park in Canada. That's also extremely pretty.
So, I've heard you're very passionate about a certain president.
You're talking about James K. Polk, my boy?
I am.
Okay.
List one thing that you know about him.
Well, he had very intense irritable bowel syndrome. So most of his presidential decisions were probably done from a bathroom. He actually dies from it. You'd be surprised how many presidents in the 1800s spent most of their time in a porta potty.
So, if you could buy any one thing free of charge, what would you buy?
God.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a physical item.
So, to be honest, I'm actually a really big fan of NASA, and I'm a big fan of the National Park Service. So if I had an unlimited budget, I would say I would actually give my unlimited budget to NASA and to the National Park Service. The National Park Service wants to rebuild all these roads and rebuild all these bridges and stuff. That way people don't die. So I'd probably do that. And then NASA, they have a very, very, very tiny part of the federal budget, and they do incredible, awesome things with it. I'd love to give them more and see what else they could do. Like, I want to leave this planet as quickly as possible, and giving money to NASA is how we do it. Otherwise, we're stuck here.
That's a very different answer from the ones we've got.
Yeah, everyone else is materialistic, doesn't care about the future. But I became a teacher because I care about the future. I don't need material possessions.
Oh, I can see from looking around your room. You're a part of a very opinionated fan base of Star Wars.
Oh God. Okay, we're gonna do that too. All right, let's do it.
Which one's the best?
God, that's like asking for my favorite child. I don't have kids. My favorite Star Wars movie is and will always be Return of the Jedi. Yeah.
Before this episode is 10 hours, we're going to move away from Star Wars.
Oh, really? Okay, well, I don't care about anything else.
Well,
ask me whatever you want.
So this is a question we ask every teacher we do.
Okay.
How do you think the other staff members would describe you?
Every week I send the staff an email, and it has a random trivia question or a random thing about the world in it. So I think the staff would probably think of me as being very weird. I assume that they would say nice things about me. I hope. I try to be a nice person.
So
this might be our last race.
This is our last race.
Oh no.
So at least to touch on the fact that you're a history.
Oh sure, yeah, fine, whatever.
Well, we'll get one in there.
Okay, it's fine.
If you could add to the existing amendments to the Constitution, what would you add?
So it's funny, because if you were in my class, I have a whole big thing about this, is that it's so hard to pass a constitutional amendment. I legitimately think we'll probably never see one again. To pass a constitutional amendment, you need to get 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate, which is nearly impossible. But then you have to get 3/4 of the states. So when I always tell the students, okay, let's pretend that we're going to have a pizza party, but every single person has to eat the pizza that we get, the pizza has to have 4 toppings, and one of them has to be pineapple, and we also have to have meat on it, even if you're a vegetarian. And we all have to agree, and then I'll buy pizza for the class. And in the 18 years I've taught that class, I've never had students agree, because you can't. And that's what it's like making a constitutional amendment. So I don't know if we'll ever see one, to be honest. So now to answer what kinds of things would I like to see in an amendment, I think that something that could be interesting would be something like term limits. You have people that have been serving in government like for 30 or 40 years, and they're completely disconnected from the average life of an average American. And maybe it's a good thing that they know the ins and outs of how government works. But at the same time, like, you have people that are deciding if we should keep TikTok or not that are in their 70s and 80s. What 80-year-old knows anything about how TikTok works, right? So maybe having term limits and age limits might actually mean that someone that actually understands the world that you guys are growing up into can make a decision that would actually be something that you would also agree with.
You know,
So-
if there's anything you can have students take away from your character as watching this video, what would you want somebody to take away?
The most important thing is not to take life too seriously, but to also be focused on the world around you. Make sure you know which Star Wars films are the ones to watch. Make sure you are registered to vote, and you vote in every election from ASB to Homecoming Queen and King to governor, president, school board. Vote for everything. Be informed. It's the best thing you can do for this country.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate it.
Back to the studio.
Yeah.